Hello, and welcome to Everything is Spooky in the Dark, the podcast for WanderingCrystal.com. I'm your host, Crystal, and today we'll be having a very festive episode and talking about Krampus. You've probably heard all about the jolly fat man who likes to give well-behaved kids wonderful presents each year. But he also punishes misbehaving children with the threat of a stocking full of coal. It's not really much of a threat, right? Well, how about being tormented by the thought of a half-beast, half-goat demon that will not only beat you, but will drag you into the underworld and eat you for dinner? Krampus is a scary demon beast who has large horns, dark hair, sharp fangs, and a long pointed tongue. He is covered in chains and carries a bell so you can hear him coming for you as you think back and remember all the horrible things you did this past year. Krampus is known for carrying a bundle of birch sticks that he uses to swat misbehaving children. This kind of reminds me of being in a Finnish sauna, except the Finns hit people with a bunch of leafy birch branches. So at least it's a little less brutal than Krampus. I wonder if Krampus would enjoy a Finnish sauna. Krampus comes the night before St. Nicholas, coming to punish naughty children with one human foot and one goat foot. You can hear the sounds of the Christmas devil coming down the hallway with one light step, followed by the clip-clopping sound of a cloven hoof. Once he's finished beating you, Krampus will kidnap you by placing you inside the basket he carries on his back. As he carries you out, chains rattling and bells jingling, your fate is either being drowned in a nearby river or being taken into his lair in the underworld to be devoured. The folklore of Krampus originates from the Alpine regions of Austria, stemming from pagan rituals. It's also said that Krampus was present in Norse mythology and is the son of Hel, the goddess of death and daughter of Loki. Wherever he comes from, his tales are dark and terrifying. And that's kind of why I love him. So I come from Canada, and we never had the threat of Krampus growing up. So I first learned about the existence of him from Brian Quinn, who is better known as Q, from the Impractical Jokers, or the Tenderloins comedy troupe. Now, I can't remember if he had posted about his love for Krampus on social media, or if he talked about Krampus on his podcast. If you want to check out their podcast, even though they have not updated it since 2017, it's called What Say You with Brian Quinn and Sal Vulcano, and it has me in tears laughing so much, so I highly recommend checking it out. Whichever way I learned about Krampus from Brian, it doesn't matter because I was intrigued, and I went to look him up immediately. I had learned of this new horrid beast that torments naughty children. It was truly the best Christmas gift anyone could receive. Nowadays, the world seems to be embracing the darker side of Christmas, and Krampus has more and more of a cult following each year, and has had several movies made about him. So last Christmas, I went on the adventure of watching an insane number of Christmas movies over the holiday season. So most of the movies that I watched last year were the predictable Christmas movies that we all know how they start and finish, but I noticed that Netflix was featuring a horror Christmas movie called Krampus. So of course, I had to watch it. I won't tell you too much about the movie if you want to watch it yourself, but for me, Krampus and his little evil helpers were not the scariest part of the movie. This is the movie from 2015 that has Adam Scott in it. He plays Ben on Parks and Rec. That's the one you're looking for. The scariest part of the movie, for me, was the snowmen. The snowmen that did absolutely nothing. They just appeared outside the family's house and stared ominously, not moving, not being evil in any way, and I don't even think they had scary faces. They were just normal snowmen. They were terrifying though. I think just the fact that they did nothing kept me on the edge of my seat. I just thought they're gonna do something at some point. And that's like kind of like the fear of the unknown is what made me scared. But yeah, they did nothing in the end, but they were definitely the scariest part of the whole movie. So for some reason, these stationary watchers would freak me out way more than anything that the devil beast that is Krampus could do. There are other films that have embraced the darker side of Christmas, such as Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's safe for children, this one, and it follows around a skeleton from Halloween Town as he discovers the wonders that is Christmas Town. It's a fantastic movie for Halloween lovers and Christmas lovers, and you guys have to fight over who thinks that it's a Halloween movie and who thinks that it's a Christmas movie. But if you're looking for something a little bit darker, I highly recommend checking out the Finnish horror comedy Christmas film called Rare Exports, A Christmas Tale. This film is about a research team drilling in a nearby mountain in northern Finland, which just happens to be an ancient burial mound that was created to imprison the original Santa Claus. Not the jolly Santa that we all know and love, but this evil, child-eating creature with horns. So although they never say that he is Krampus in the film, he does have a lot of similarities. So who knows, evil Santa is Krampus? Maybe in Finland. So again, I won't tell you too much about the movie, just in case you want to watch it, and I highly recommend you do. Mysteriously, a skinny old man dressed in a Santa costume appears, and he doesn't really respond to anything. However, he's quite frightening and he will attack anyone who misbehaves. However, he isn't actually Santa. He's just an elf or a helper whose job it is to steal a child from the town and bring him back to the mountain. These kidnapped children are kept in bags and they're offered up to Santa, who is encased in ice, but they are desperately trying to melt the ice to free him. My favorite part of the film, I actually need to play it for you, but most of it is in Finnish with subtitles, but there is some English in it, and one of the guys who catches Santa, or Santa's helper, says, "We have Santa Claus," and for some reason, I love it. So I'm going to play that for you, just in case you never see the movie, so at least you get the best part of the movie.
We have Santa Claus.
However, little did they know, the real Santa was still trapped in ice. Thank God. So with that, and the ever-growing love of Krampus and the dark side of Christmas, each year in Austria, Germany, and around the world, there's a parade where people dress up as devils and mythical creatures, and they run through the streets terrorizing and slapping people with their birch branches. I have not been to one of these parades, but someday I would like to go and see if I can find Krampus for myself. So whether or not you believe in Krampus, just to be on the safe side, you'd better behave, or else Krampus is gonna get you.